Alright, so one thing I wanted to do is change up this rim here, this chrome piece. This one's starting to lift a little bit, so I just decided to start from new, from scratch, and just change the entire color on it. Alright, so I got all the metal covering off here, so which if you're gonna do this, be very careful. I use the razor blade through the whole process. You gotta be careful because this stuff, once you lift it up, it's extremely sharp. So trust me, I know. I cut my thumb. Anyway, after that, I actually repaired this too because that was cracked. Just some plastic weld here. I'm gonna use some 1000 grit sandpaper and sand the whole entire piece that's going to be repainted. Okay, so after sanding the piece, I'm finally happy with it. I got the repair done, which you can barely see. I got that sanded down flush as well, so it'll be like it was never there. I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol just to clean the surface. Clean all oils off from me touching it and any of the dust from sanding. Alright, so that should do it. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry, make sure that's completely dry. It shouldn't take too long. And then I'm going to lightly spray it with some adhesive or adhesion promoter. This is so I make sure I get a sure grip on the sealer I'm going to put on top of this. Alright, so I have the promoter dry. And I'm going to go ahead and do a light spray of some primer sealer. This is the stuff I'm going to use from Rust-Oleum. That should be good there. I don't want to go too heavy. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, let it set up for a little bit. And then we'll come back with the base coat, and then after that we'll let that dry, and then we'll hit it with a clear coat. Alright, so now it's time for the base coat. The primer's had time to cure, so what I'm going to use is the base color that the car is going to be, is my idea. This is the company I always use for factory colors. So what I'm going to do is put a light coat on here first. And the second coat, which I'll do off camera, will be more of a medium coat. So I just want to make sure the paint's going to stick fine, and then the medium coat will hold. Alright, so that's all I'm going to do is just a light coat. Okay, I went ahead and off camera finished up this piece. Got the clear coat on there. It's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Let me give you a quick close-up to it, and hopefully it comes out on camera what it looks like. Looks really good in person. I'm just not totally sure how it's going to come out on camera, so came out really good. Real glossy, which is exactly what I wanted. So moving forward to the rest of this, we have this piece here that we need to customize. We're going to put a gauge in here, and then we're going to do something different with the cigarette lighter. Alright, for this part, this interior part right here, I don't want to use a cigarette lighter because no one uses this anymore. It's kind of a bad spot for it as well, but we can, I got an idea for this. Same thing for the cigarette tray. We don't need either, you can already tell here, I don't know if it comes on camera, someone already put out their coals here and melted the plastic a little bit, which is unfortunate. But anyway, what I end up doing is just getting a regular gauge pod here, and I've hacked it up already for test fitting. You can tell here, it's in the camera, I hacked it up pretty good. A little ledge, there's a reason for that, but I kind of hacked it up so it doesn't look so nice right now, but we'll get it to look decent. Some of this stuff might be underneath the panel. You're not going to be able to see it anyway, so no big deal. But my idea was to go ahead and use the cigarette lighter, not the cigarette tray, to place the pod in. This is one of those things I wish I had a 3D printer and get it done that way, but I'm just going to use what I have. So my idea was to fit this in here and epoxy it in. You can tell, I don't know by camera here, how all this fits in, but those little grooves in the back here fit perfectly against the tray. This is how it looks here, it's slightly angled, and so this is how it's going to basically fit. I'm going to show you something else I'm going to do with the cigarette lighter hole. I'm going to reuse the trim the cigarette lighter, I guess the component for it sat on. It's this little plastic piece here. I'm going to reuse this plastic piece, and it fits in the groove here. Just gives it kind of a nicer, clean fit. And what I did is, for the audio system we're going to be putting in this car, I would like to have an external USB connected to it. And this is what I found. It's all rubber. They make these for boats. So if you're looking for one of these, look for the boat under the boat section under eBay or Amazon or whatever you might find these at. So this actually fits perfectly for what we're going to use it for. So I'll show you real quick. I'm going to run these lines through here real fast. So there you go. It fits absolutely perfect, like it was made for it. So they give you two different type of nuts for them. They're rubber. Again, they're for boats. It's for sealing, right? So that's what's going to go here, and we'll seal it in with one of these. But it's a nice, clean fit. All right. So the next thing I wanted to do is change up the shifter plate here. First thing I wanted to do is get rid of these, I guess these markers here, because they're absolutely ugly. They don't fit the car at all whatsoever. I'm not totally sure why they put them in there, since, you know, they're on the dash of the car anyway. So every time you shift into, you know, reverse, neutral, or drive, whatever, it shows up on your dash. So you know, it's kind of redundant. It's kind of ugly. Now, you guys that are lucky enough to have a manual car, you know, you got your leather boot that looks nice, and so I'm gonna kind of do the same. I'm gonna cover this over with almost the same type of material, but it's gonna be a vinyl, but it's gonna have a leather look to it. Take out all these markers, relocate this button, these buttons as well, the power and the stealth button. This will most likely won't be used, but I'm gonna relocate it in the car anyway, just to keep, you know, some of the stock functions of the car. So one thing I do need to do as well is to grind down this piece here, so it's kind of, we have a flat or an even surface once I coat this, and also take out these buttons here. I'm going to pull these out as well. Alright, since now everything's kind of dry on here and I've gone ahead and sanded everything down, it's time to kind of finish off this piece. Before doing that, I wanted to mention this product here is absolutely amazing for bonding. Say you have two pieces of plastic together that you need it to be flexible still. This is the stuff you want to use. Now I use this stuff on here, and if I had to do it all over, I would use Bondo because I had a really hard time cutting with a razor blade or sandpapering this flat. I actually have to use the rotary tool to sand it down. So pretty strong stuff. So before we get started here, I need to remove all this foam all the way around the edge, and then we'll come back. We're going to use some contact cement here, and I got some vinyl. Real stretchy vinyl is what we're going to need to contour this, and we're going to lay this over and we're going to form it on here. So let's get started. Alright, so the key of laying down vinyl on plastic pieces, or any piece in general, if it's a piece of wood or whatever, is patience. You're just going to have to be patient with this and go a little by little of getting it on here. You know, you're going through the effort, so you might as well take your time and do it right. Yeah, some people might get a bunch of cement and rub it all over the place and just set it down, and maybe they get a good result. But I'm going to take it slow and just kind of work my way getting it filled on here. Okay, so here's the final piece here. It's all set. This is not going anywhere now. So I came out. You can tell I tried to capture all the existing lines that it had in here before. Everything's snugged in real tight here, along with the outside. You can see how it just fits in. So everything's good here, even underneath. I'm keeping the foil on here. There's a reason for that. And then I went ahead and touched up all these areas. What I did is I used super glue as a filler around the edge of the fabric, let that dry overnight, and then came back with some heavy enamel gloss black paint and just kind of sketched away or painted away the outside area here to cover up from the super glue, so it gives it a nice clean finish here on top. So that's pretty much it for this one, and then we'll add it to the car with the rest of the pieces. Alright y'all, so this is what we have so far. Again, I apologize for the blinking background light. It's an LED and it doesn't work the way it should, but I think it gives us enough light here for now. But I still got the center console missing. That's because we got to put the carpet back in. But on the next video, we're going to be doing a battery relocation, and we need the carpet out to run our lines. Also, I got to run all these stereo lines to the back of the trunk as well. So still quite a bit of work to do there, but here's what everything kind of looks like. There's the big screen and the vents on top. Steering wheel is completed and colored. So let's go ahead and test this guy. Go ahead and take off our plastic finally. Alright, so I guess the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and test out the vents and making sure they work. And those seem to work perfectly fine. So that works perfectly. That's going to work great. It actually blows very strong. I'm going to turn that off. Looks like the stereo system is up and running as well. Guess one thing to tell as we go our apps here. We can do our YouTube here. All types of funny stuff comes up. I don't want to play anyone else's video, but it looks like everything is working fine there. one reason I wanted this screen in here is I didn't want to put so many gauges in the car. So the Android system allows me to use the torque app, and I have light on here for now, but I still need to order the Bluetooth connector for this, but I'll be getting the full version of the torque, and this way I'm able to put all my gauges here and monitor what the engine's doing. The only thing I'm not able to monitor is the boost, and that's what this boost gauge down here is for. So if you remember, the theme of the car is blue, so what I have here, there's ambient lighting on both sides of the floor wells. All the buttons here are in blue, and also your gauge is blue. And if you remember, the shifter, I had a purpose for that one area cut, that also glows blue. So it's kind of a theme here. I still got to do the dash and change out the colors on there, but for now this is a wrap until the next video. I'm sure we're going to do one more part of the interior. I just got to get some stuff in. So thanks for joining me on this one. Please leave your comments below, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.